Now, it's time for the Mike Norvell Show, presented by AutoZone. Get in the zone. AutoZone. The show is supported by the Tennessee Lottery, MLGW, Chick-fil-A, and by Mid-South Chevy Dealers.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope it was a great Christmas day for you. Happy, healthy New Year as well. Welcome to a very special edition of the Mike Norvell Show. It's a look at the championship game. It's a look at the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, sort of a bowl preview special. And let's start with the great news that we got an early Christmas present for all of Memphis. You and Tom Bowen came to terms, and you are our coach for what we hope is many, many, many more years to come.
It's an exciting time. It's an exciting time for myself, our family, this entire football program. The commitment that's been made by our university shows that this is something that we've seen a great 2 years over our entire program continuing to progress, and to be able to be a part of that and seeing the bright days that are here in front of us, something we're very excited about.
I know you got a nice raise yourself, but you also, for the second time in a row, took care of assistant coaches. I know you had talked a little bit about upgrading the facilities too, make sure the indoor thing's going to break ground. All those were important things to you.
Well, and I'll tell you, our administration has been remarkable. Tom Bowen, Dr. Rudd, the Board of Trustees, we're committed to continuing to progress as a program, and we've got a phenomenal group of young men that represent this community in a great fashion, and being able to support them with the new facilities, the indoor, obviously the new enhancements to South Campus. It's an exciting time to be a Memphis Tiger, and these guys are our players. We're excited about the bowl game coming up, and it's definitely been a special year.
One of the things that you say in speeches, and I've heard a bunch of them, talk about representing Memphis. What better way to rep Memphis than to be in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl? And this is the latest Memphis has played. This is really, I think, a very special moment for this program.
Our football team, and especially the young men that are in it, are so excited to be able to step on that field one more time. And we think back to Senior Day and what that game meant, and just to see the emotion which they played with. And when the announcement came out that we're going to play an AutoZone Liberty Bowl, our kids were so excited to be able to play in front of our home crowd and obviously represent this university for the first time in program history in this game. It's pretty special.
Well, and this is a historic team. More wins this senior class than anybody else. And the great part that I love about it, they get to defend the Liberty Bowl. That's their home deal. It's the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, but it's the Liberty Bowl Stadium, and they have not lost there this year.
No, and we're excited about it. That's something that we take a great deal of pride in, how we play at home and in that stadium, and because we know that that's an iconic place within our community, and obviously it's very special to us, and we want to represent it well and go play at a high level.
I guarantee this one's going to be at a very, very high level. Here's what's coming up on this special edition of the Mike Norvell Show. We'll take a look at this year, and it was full with so many great moments, and we love those offensive highlights, watching Miller and Ferguson, and you'll see a little bit of that. We got the Liberty Bowl preview. We'll get some keys to the game, and you'll learn a little bit more about Iowa State. A little bit later in the program, we got a couple of inside accesses we think you will like. And obviously, the AutoZone road ahead is the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. We'll be very busy on this special edition of the Mike Norvell Show.
You're watching the Mike Norvell Show.
Thanks for sharing your time with us tonight. So this is the latest Memphis has ever played in a bowl, December the 30th. A few days from now. That meant you had extra time to practice with your football team. First off, are there rules? Like, do you have a limited amount of practice, or the teams that play later have an advantage?
Well, as you go through bowl prep, there's a couple of different factors that kind of tie into it. Obviously, we had finals that we had to work around and be able to give guys off and time to be able to focus on the academic side of it. But then, with recruiting, trying to work the recruiting calendar. And what we did is we did 5 practices. They're just truly focusing on ourselves and making sure we stayed up to the speed of the game to evaluate some of the young guys that we have, which was a great experience for them. And then we've really tied in the second part of the prep time, just focused on Iowa State. And so it's a great time. It's something that's necessary for our program to continue to develop, and especially the development of a lot of those young players.
Yeah, it was interesting how you would excuse starters after X amount of time because you know what they can do, and they did get a little conditioning there, and then all of a sudden guys you really are going to depend on in the future get their shots.
Well, and you know, it's a long season, and our starters have played a lot of snaps this year. You know, it's been it's been a grind as we went through it, to play all the way through the regular season and then to have the championship game, to be able to get into bowl prep and let them rest their bodies and get back as healthy as we possibly can be, while letting the young guys really showcase what they can do.
And then last week, I know you got into your normal game prep.
Yeah, and that's something that's been big. You know, playing an opponent like Iowa State, presents so many different challenges. It's a team that's played at an exceptionally high level. Has won some big games on a national in the national spotlight. So our guys know that we have a great challenge here in front of us, and they're excited about the opportunity.
I couldn't help but notice in some of that video that we saw, this was from earlier on, that Daryl Dickey was in there, and Daryl Dickey, of course, now has departed. Second time the last 2 seasons that you've lost an offensive coordinator to a major program. Chip Long to Notre Dame. Now Daryl, our good buddy, is off to Texas A&M. I think that's a real tribute to your ball club, but how does that affect anything in bowl preparation?
Well, we're happy for Daryl. It's an opportunity for him to go back into his home state, to coach close to his family, and it is a great opportunity for him. And so you appreciate all the work that he did for Memphis, and he helped bring a lot of the great players that we have here on campus into this program. So for us, it's just we continue to progress forward. With one man leaving, it opens up a new opportunity. And Coach Anthony Jones joined our program here this past week, and we're definitely pleased to have him.
Yeah. Now there's an interesting guy, Memphis guy, and had been the coach at Cordova High School. What really turns you on about him?
Anthony, he is a Memphian, and he is made in Memphis. And you look at what he's been able to do with the programs that he's been able to lead. What the transition of Cordova High School, the culture that's been established there. He's a great leader of men, and we've been able to form a wonderful relationship over the last couple of years, and we're definitely excited to what he brings into our program and the connections within the community.
Another high energy guy, perfect for this program, that is for sure. We take a break, and when we come back, who are these guys? Who's the quarterback? What do they do? You'll meet Iowa State when we come back to the Mike Norvell Show.
You're watching the Mike Norvell Show.
Welcome back in. So you get a chance, if you're a Tiger fan, to watch Memphis play another Power 5 team, and a good one, from the Big 12. What was your reaction when you saw it was going to be Iowa State that was going to be on the other side of the line of scrimmage?
Oh, we knew the challenge was coming, and a lot of respect for Coach Campbell. Obviously, the job that they've done. You watch them on both sides of the ball. I mean, it's a very explosive football team. You've got a great running back, couple of phenomenal receivers, quarterback playing at a high level. They went on the road this year against Oklahoma and won there in Norman, which I think anybody knows anything about college football, that's definitely a difficult thing to do. But they played at a high level against a variety of opponents. Defense is, I think, the number 2 ranked defense in the Big 12, just giving up around 20 points a game, which is exceptional in its own right. And then in special teams, they've got some dynamic players that can really cause problems. But our guys are looking forward to the opportunity. Two programs that have captured the nation's spotlight at various times this year, and being able to kick it off here in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, it's going to be pretty special.
I think there's some similarities, a high explosive offense, a defense that likes takeaways. They caused 20 takeaways. They're plus 12 on the year. Their quarterback was a kid who beat out another guy who then transferred because he was pretty good, and he was a senior walk-on. It reminds me a little bit of Anthony Miller, so that stuff is great. And they came up big in big-time games, and their coach, Matt Campbell, just signed a new deal. He's committed to that program for a long time. I see a lot of similarities here.
There are, and I mean it's two programs that are on looking to progress, and they're looking to continue to grow. Obviously, the commitment from both staffs of where we are and what we believe we can continue to do. It just puts that much more emphasis on this game and the opportunity that's in front of us. We know that to finish the season, to be able to get a victory, to carry momentum into the off season would be huge. We're definitely excited that this is a game that the country wants to see, and everybody around Memphis is itching for this one.
Feather in your cap too, if you would. This is a team, when they beat Oklahoma, they were third in the country. When they beat TCU, you just saw some of that video, they were fourth in the country. How many teams have 2 top 4 wins?
No, I mean this is a team that they've done things this year that not many people ever accomplish, and so we know that it's going to take our best game and our best preparation. But once again, our football team they know what's at stake, and so we've had a wonderful preparation so far throughout this bowl season, and we're looking forward to that to continue here till game time.
That's David Montgomery, who's the running back. He had almost 1,100 yards. Kemp was the quarterback. He is terrific. I guess the next question is, how healthy are you through all these practices and everything else? You're always banged up at the end of the year, but you got a month off here. Will you be perfectly healthy for the game in a few days?
That's something that we'll be able to see as we get closer to kickoff. I mean, guys like John Pop Williams, I believe we'll have him back in full effect. Dorland, I'm not sure, if he's probably doubtful to be able to make it back. But we're going to see as guys get closer. Hopefully, those bodies continue to heal up, and we definitely could use all hands on deck.
No doubt about it. We take a break. When we come back, we got to revisit one of the great games. It didn't end the way we all wanted, but it was an unbelievable American Athletic Championship game of the year. To Orlando we go in just one moment.
You're watching The Mike Norvell Show.
Happy holidays once again. So all year long, there are goals that you try to meet. One of those was to play in the American Athletic Conference Championship game with wins at home against Navy and going to Houston right after winning. You put yourself in your position to get there, and that was one heck of a football game.
It was, and all the things leading up to that point, to go undefeated in the West Division, to accomplish so many great things. It was a special opportunity, and our guys, just like they've done all season long, we responded in every situation. Central Florida started off, they jumped out to a 10-0 lead. We had an early turnover there on our first drive, but our guys were able to maintain their composure. They kept playing. You could see the confidence that they had in each other, and I thought they gave a phenomenal effort throughout the game. But I mean, it's a quality football team. You sit there and they have yet to be defeated this year. Having to play them on the road in their home stadium, which they did earn. It presented a lot of challenges, but our guys just they kept responding to every opportunity that throughout that game, and I was just so proud to see our team compete, and came up a little short there at the end.
Well, back and forth you go, and you're talking, this is a prolific offense, but I saw Patrick Taylor score. I saw Tony Pollard score. Those guys are sophomores.
It was a great experience, and something to be able to build off of for our football team. And our best players played at an extremely high level. I mean, it was like I said, it was a back and forth game, and our guys, they definitely they showed the heart and character that they have. But as you sit there and you go through it, it was just a grind for 60 minutes, and then when we got done with 60, we had a few more plays that we had to keep going. And our team, you see the turnovers that we were able to create on defense. This was one of the best defenses in our conference that we had to go against, and I think we had a school record over 750 yards of total offense. Just some extraordinary plays, and it was a heck of a battle. There's the pump and go, and there's the combination. We'll take a look at that, actually, you and me a little bit later, but those two guys, so many high moments, but UCF's champions of the East are going to come back. Oh, it was an extraordinary game, and when you're playing in a championship game, you know that you're going to get everybody's best effort. You know that every little detail is going to show up, and every detail is going to matter. And I tell you, our guys, it was a fun atmosphere to be in, but just the overall belief that our guys showed throughout that game. was pretty incredible. And we had a couple of injuries that hurt us. We lost both safeties there throughout the season, throughout the first half, and so to be down, we actually had to make some adjustments of moving a corner to safety that had never taken a rep there. But our guys did a great job, and we made some plays there throughout the game, especially late, to give us an opportunity to tie it up and put ourselves in a position to win it.
Well, your team battled back all year long. You actually fall behind by a couple of touchdowns in this game, but knowing this team, I don't think there was ever any doubt on the sidelines that something great would happen, and this guy always seems to make something great happen.
Yeah, we're down 14 points in the fourth quarter, and we needed a spark. And there, Tony Pollard shows up again. Gave us a big touchdown run. Like you see, the statistics, they speak for themselves. It was an offensive battle, and it was back and forth. Both teams played at an exceptionally high level, but at the end of the day, just came up a little bit short.
Look at the totals there. All those we're almost at 1,500 yards. You knew it was a classic, right?
Oh yeah. When the game ended, you could do nothing but just tip your hat to UCF and the game that they played. I walked in the locker room, and obviously there were a lot of hurt young men because they poured so much into that game, and to come up just a little short, I told them, you should be proud for the way that you competed, and there's no reason to hang your head from that one, and we will build off of that performance for many years to come.
Oh, there is no doubt, and it was so much fun to watch. But this was a great team to watch all year long, so let's revisit the 2017 year.
There's a hole, and down the right side go the Tigers. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, see ya! Touchdown, Patrick Taylor! They play fake, and Rosen's got a lot of time. He's going to start to run. He's still looking. He's got all day. Throws over the middle. Picked off! Picked off at the 50, to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, to the 10. Go, big man, go! It's a touchdown, Tigers! It's a pick six! Ferguson, they play fake. Riley rolls right, got all day. Throwing deep, the end zone, Miller. He's got another one! Touchdown, Tigers! They lead it 28-21. 1:33 to go. Here's the snap. Riley with time, throwing over the middle. He's got Dykes at the 3. He's into the end zone. Touchdown! The Tigers have their first lead in the game. Henderson's in, and he gets the handoff, and he's got room. 20, 30. Now it's a foot race. 40 near sideline. 50. Oh my goodness. Breaks a tackle. 40. Got one more man to beat. Does it? 20. Oh my 10. God. Touchdown. Tigers. They do it again. Another big play. It's Henderson this time. 82 yards off to the races. Here is Riley Ferguson throwing underneath, and he's got a man to begin at the 15, 20. Oh my goodness. Gone! Look at him go! 50, 40, 30,
Guess who?
20, it's Miller, 10, high stepping into the end zone, wow. 89 yards. The senior says, I'm still here. Taken in the end zone, 5 yards deep by Tony Pollard. He says, why not? 15, 20, jeez. Spins at the 25, 30, still on his feet, 40, near sideline 50, 40, he's gone. 30, 20, 10, he's done it again. What a play by Pollard. The Tigers and the Knights for all the marbles. Two receivers left. They give it to Pollard. He sweeps right side. He's got room. 40, 50. One man to beat 40. He gets away. 30, 20, 10. See ya. Tigers back in it. 66 yards. It's 48-40. 9:02 remaining. Here's the snap. It's a read. Here's the throw. Back shoulder. End zone. Miller! Touchdown! Riley claps, gets the ball. Has time. Throws. End zone wide open. Touchdown, Tigers! It's Miller! His third touchdown of the game.
Whew! That's just a lot of fun to watch.
And it was a great season, and it was one with so many wonderful plays. But the group of young men that we get to coach every day is incredible, and the preparation that they put in to be able to play at a high level, to represent this community, it's fun to relive that.
One of the great years I'll ever see, I can tell you that, and still one more to go. But when we come back, a little bit of inside access for you.
You're watching The Mike Norvell Show.
Welcome back in. Time for some Mid-South Chevy dealers inside access. And Coach, we're going to go back in time to the very beginning of this very special year. You've done it now twice, and both times it's worked out pretty well. You've gone for a bonding session to Jackson, Tennessee.
Yeah, that's something that's been great for our football team. Obviously each team is different, and being in our second year, a chance to get to know our guys, the veterans to know the newcomers, and just to be able to share the stories of how each person has got to this point and exactly what this team means to you. So our freshmen get to hear Anthony Miller talk about his journey, and that's something that bonds them close together, and it's one of my favorite experiences of the year.
So where did you come up with this idea to take everybody away and basically, you're not going anywhere. Yeah, learn each other.
I think sometimes you have to get yourself out of your comfort level and to pull a team away where you're forced to spend time with each other. And as you want to build a family, you've got to spend time. And that's something that has really been a great experience for us in Jackson and a part of this whole decision to go to Lambeth.
All right, let's take a look.
It was important for us, just going out there and being able to get away from everybody and be out there as a team. That's one thing I can say about Memphis. We're all really close, and even off the field, I think that's something that we're good with, is hanging out and getting to know guys. And I think, once you're friends with people and you care about somebody, once you get on the field, I feel like you'll fight harder for those people, and I think that's how Memphis is.
Team bonding, yeah, you learn about people, about the players you play with alongside of you, and some stuff you learn about you never even knew, and obviously it brings you tighter and you play for each other and stuff like that.
It just gets everybody closer, and as Riley said, once you're closer to someone and you actually get to know their background, it makes you want to play for them and fight for them even more.
All right, look. Oh,
I feel like that was a real important part of our preseason. I learned a lot about guys that I didn't know, so I feel like it's an important part of our preseason.
I think it definitely helped us in the long run, and it's continuing to help us because we're continuing to learn more and more about each other and just becoming closer with each other.
I think my favorite part about that was the behind-the-back bowling. I don't know how he did that, but that was pretty good.
Yeah, I got to say, I was right there at the alley for that one. I was definitely impressed as well.
Now, that was the beginning of the year, ladies and gentlemen. He's a big believer in service. A couple of weeks ago, the Tigers took a visit to Le Bonheur.
Go and make the children happy. You know what we do. Tell them how to do. We're just walking around Le Bonheur, handing out gifts, teddy bears to the kids. It's just humbling experience.
Well, for me, living in Memphis all my life and seeing these guys using the gifts and talents that they have to serve others, it just warms my heart. And service is one of the pillars of our program, and so we want to make sure our guys are out in the community and using the gifts and talents they have to make a difference. We want to be part of the solution, not part of the problem.
It's pretty fun. I've come here a bunch of times and it gets better each time. Never done the Christmas dancing one yet, so I'm looking forward to it. Picked the tree because my dance moves aren't that good and trees can't move, so.
It's just great, just seeing their smiles on their faces and, being able to make them happy. It's just the little things that count.
The minute that they hear that their Memphis football players coming, they smile, the room lights up, and these guys are so good, man. I'm just the facilitator. These guys make the difference. I'm just happy to play a part.
How much support everybody gives, not only to the team, but to us just out in the community doing stuff like this. Just coming to see kids. Freshman year we would come do this and they'd be kind of like, who are you? Like, I don't know who you are, but we do it now and go to the patients and they're all supporting us now. So it's pretty cool to see, not only in the community, but people all over that come to come get treatment in this hospital. And people all over are supporting us now.
Been through a lot, and so thank you all, guys. This is really nice of you all. You guys don't realize how much these things mean to these kids. So God bless y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Speedy.
Yeah, you guys have kids.
I just love this stuff. And I read where Braxton Brady said that the minute it's posted of what they're going to do, it gets filled up like boom, like that.
Yeah, and that's one of the great things about this football team is understanding that the platform that we're on and who we can impact. You never know what one handshake, one opportunity to go dress up and just go around and say hello to these young people that are in difficult situations. That just a short hello can mean so much, and it's really special to see our players being able to interact, and it's what we get from it.
I want to point out, folks, that's the stuff you see. There's plenty every week where you don't see it.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that, last year we were over 1,500 hours of community service, and, we only count the hours where there's not a camera there. And that's something that, it's not about who else sees what we're doing, but it's truly to serve this community and to give to others.
Great stuff. The great part of your program for sure. When we come back, boy, the Miller and Ferguson connection. That's been a beautiful thing to watch as well. We'll relive that combo in just a minute.
You're watching The Mike Norvell Show.
Every once in a while, there's a couple of players that come together that you watch them grow and you realize this is something special. I'm not going to see this every day. And I think when we talk about Anthony Miller, the walk-on who became a consensus All-American, and Riley Ferguson, the transfer who had nowhere to go for a little bit and found a home here and loves it here, we're talking about something special. You don't see this every day.
No, and both these young men are extremely talented, and they've truly worked for everything that they've ever been able to accomplish. But what their story is what makes them special, and the way that they've been able to come together in a 2-year period of time. I think they've thrown for almost 3,000 yards in over the time that they've been playing the game together.
2 years,
and it's pretty remarkable. And you see the friendship that they have, but you also see the work and the passion that they have to try to be the best. And everybody talks about it, but this is something that is a daily action by each of these young men.
We know they're both hard workers. But what is it about them, the chemistry, that they find each other so perfectly?
Well, there's so many details that go into the preparation, making sure that you're at your proper route depth, making sure that you're on rhythm and time as a quarterback possession, the protection, being able to understand the concepts within an offense, to be versatile. That's the great thing about Anthony is you see him lining up all over the place, because it's not a secret. People know that we're going to try to target Anthony, get him the ball, but to be able to move him around like we do, and then when he gets the ball in his hands, you see great plays like this occurring, and that's what makes for a special duo, is that they both prepare at such a high level, and then they're ready on game day to go out and execute to the highest level.
I must say, I get a chuckle when people say, "Oh, he's got great hands," or he just runs routes so well. The guy's got speed. Give him credit.
No, he does, and and it's such a great competitor. That's what as you see both these guys, the competitive spirit that shows up. They will themselves to success, and our football team feeds off of that. But two guys with both unique stories to themselves, and Riley being here for 2 years, replacing one of the greatest quarterbacks in Memphis Tiger history, and to do what he's been able to accomplish is pretty remarkable.
Without missing a beat. What makes him so special? Is it the arm? Is it footwork? Is it preparation? The reads that he makes?
I think both these guys are the total package. And Riley's one of the smartest football players I've ever been around. He understands where to go with the football. He does that in a very efficient fashion. And then he does have the arm talent. He can make every throw on the field. He's got great arm strength to push the ball vertically. But then you can see with the precision location, whether it's a back here throw or a rhythm post that he has to squeeze into a tight window. He's just, he's definitely a special talent.
What do you think, since you've been here, both players have improved most at?
I think when you look at Anthony and the confidence that he's shown, being able to play all over the field. I mean, there's times he's lining up in the backfield. He goes to the outside number one, to the slot. I mean, he can truly do everything. And the level of his consistency has continued to improve. Throughout the time that I've been here. He's such an amazing threat. And then Riley, you see that confidence. In year one he came out and just tried to establish himself as being our leader and the guy that could obviously get the job done at the quarterback spot. But in year two, you see that confidence grow and just has been remarkable for us in every fashion.
And then off the field, they're buddies. I mean, their girlfriends get along together. And where did this thing come? What did they do after the games? You didn't put that in, did you?
No, I didn't. I wasn't behind that one. But what's amazing about them is both those young men graduated just a few days ago. And Riley graduated at the top of his class. And you think of all the accolades he has on the field. Both those guys have finished with their degree and will play their last game as Memphis Tigers as graduates.
Special. It's all special. I can't help but using that word, but that's really how I feel about it. When we come back, the athletic director of the University of Memphis, who helped fix football and who loves talking academics, he talks the whole package when we come back to the Mike Norvell Show.
You're watching the Mike Norvell Show.
Very first time I met this man, the athletic director of the U of M, Tom Bowen, he told me in a very factual way, not bragging, I can fix football. And all I can say is a sold-out AutoZone Liberty Bowl, a historic year this year to get to the latest bowl Memphis has ever played. And I believe this is now 9 straight weeks in the polls.
True, and thank you for remembering that conversation in 2012. But it is true, David. We've been ranked 9 solid weeks in the top 25 in all polls, and in the CFP poll, we've been ranked since it first came out, and that's just historic. In the 10-win season, and then a chance to be part of the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, which we were very honored to be selected by Steve Earnhardt, the executive director, and their board of directors. I know that our coach and kids and our staff and administration have looked forward to a chance to play in this bowl game. It's one of the most prolific bowls that's been around for 59 years, obviously.
7th oldest bowl.
The 7th oldest bowl, and has a great track record of great games and great finishes and great contests. And we believe this will be another one of those epic AutoZone Liberty Bowl games, and so we're excited to be part of it. So
I think there was also a collective sigh of relief when you got the deal done. By the way, you look great in a tux in New York City. But when you got that deal done with Mike Norvell to make that commitment and that continuity ironclad.
Well, Mike and I, as you remember, Mike and I, first came here. I recruited Mike and brought him here, and of course, President Rudd and everybody else approved the hire and thought it'd be a great hire, and so it's proven to be a very good hire and a great young man and a great football coach. And so we're very fortunate that Mike has agreed to stay with us, and we've agreed to put a long-term agreement between the two of us together with the university, and it's exciting. And I was at the National Football Foundation Hall of Fame dinner, and so was Mike, and I was going to the CBS ESPN party, and he called me in my room and said, "Hey, I want to commit. I want to sign." I go, "Okay." I got my tux on. He goes, "Well, I don't care. Come on down here. We'll just take a picture." I go, "Okay." So I'm not a social media guy, so I didn't really understand what it meant. So I went there, signed it. I was excited. I got the thing done, went to my room, and then, of course, social media.
Well, you could have been wearing jeans and a holy T-shirt, so it probably worked out better that way for you. Besides fixing football on the field, there's so many good things happening off the field. Graduation took place a couple of weeks ago. This team's GPA is maybe the best it's ever been.
It has. So this is historic for the Tiger football programs. This is the best GPA we've had in the fall. I think we're 2.80 or 2.73 to 2.80.
Yeah.
But more impressively is that we graduated 25 student athletes on Sunday. And today in football to date, for the last 3 years, we've graduated 45 of 47. And the 2 young men that did not graduate professionalized. So we were 100% successful in eligibility to graduation of our football program in the last 3 years.
Some of those guys, like Gerard Avery, first in his family to graduate. 25 of 20 seniors graduated. That's the kind of stuff that is just terrific.
Well, and I think Riley Ferguson being ranked #1 academically in his class, for his graduation class, was a big deal too.
Oh, those quarterbacks are always smart. You know that. Congratulations on a spectacular year.
Thank you, guys. Go
We
Tigers.
will be back in just one moment. Lots more still to come on the Mike Norvell Show.
You're watching The Mike Norvell Show.
Welcome back in and happy holidays again. So 3 days from now, I'll be asking you this question. Give me the keys to the game against this Iowa State team that comes in 7-5, been very good on the road, 4-2.
Yeah, it's going to take a complete effort, in every phase. But I think one of the major keys is we have to own the football. Offense, defense, special teams. These are we're two teams in the top 10 in the country in turnover margin. So, we've got to be opportunistic. We've got to be able to control their running game. They got a phenomenal back. They've got two big receivers. We can't give up the explosive play there on defense. And then we've got to maximize our opportunities when we have them on offense. This is a team that's only given up about 21 points a game. So when we get down in the red zone, we need to get points. But obviously the scoring touchdowns is going to be at a premium in this contest. So I'm excited about it. It's going to be a great matchup. It's one that it's going to be a chess match in some sorts of it. But our coaches and players are all looking forward to it.
They only give up the 21 points a game and about 368 yards. So on defense, they do some good things. What exactly are those? What is the strength of that D?
It's probably the most unique defense that we played this year. So many multiple looks. They base out of a 3 down front that with a 3 high roof, and you never know which guy's dropping it down into the box. They do a great job of disguising their coverages and their blitz packages. So our guys have to be on point, and we got to play with our eyes. We have to have great communication, and so it's definitely presents some challenges.
We've been watching David Montgomery go crazy here behind a big O-line. Tell me what that O-line is good at.
They do a great job of being able to create movement up front. They've been aggressive. They've played some good defensive lines throughout this season. And Montgomery is a tough guy to get down. You see him breaking a lot of different tackles. He's elusive in the open field, and they do so many different things with him. So, our guys, like I said, we're gonna have to contain him. We got to get him, try to get him stopped before he can ever get started there in the open field. And then we have to be able to control this aspect of the vertical passing game. They've got a couple of really big receivers that could present some matchup problems. But I know our guys are looking forward for the opportunity to go against this one.
When you play a Power 5 team, normally they're really, really big. Would you characterize Iowa State in that regard?
Yeah, they do. They have some great size. You look up front, on the offensive defensive lines, the linebacker, they've got a couple guys that really stand out. And so, it's like I said, we're playing a quality opponent. This is a team that's beaten 2 top 12 teams in the country, and they are very, very capable. So it's going to be a great matchup.
Now, when you talk special teams, I don't think anybody beats Memphis in special teams. How do they stack up?
Well, they are also explosive, and their returners are both very capable. I think they'll give us an opportunity, with our kickoff return unit. So we've got to maximize every opportunity. If we get the ball in our hands and have a chance to make a big play, we can't miss out on any of those opportunities.
And this will be the last time we get to see some of these guys. Both the punters are seniors. Jacobs and Smith. Yeah, I know you're going to miss those two guys.
Yeah, we're hopeful that we don't have to use them too much. But we definitely have a great group of seniors, and the work that they put in and what they've meant to this program, we definitely want to send them out with a bowl championship and send them out the right way there at the Liberty Bowl.
And 11 wins, as you like to say. No other Memphis team has ever done that in any year since the program began. We'll take a break. We'll come back one last time. It'll be the AutoZone road ahead. It's the AutoZone Liberty Bowl.
You're watching The Mike Norvell Show.
This may be the only time I ever get to say this. The AutoZone road ahead is the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. Coach, I guess my question for you is, you got any tickets? It's a hard sell.
It's an exciting feel around our community, and Iowa State's a team that travels well, and I was really proud of our fan base, and obviously our community. We were able to sell out our allotment of tickets in record time, and everybody's excited about this one.
It's amazing. Both teams sold out their allotment within 2 days. I never seen anything like that.
Well, it's incredible, and you see, all across the bowl season, people ranking the top bowl games, and I've seen us as high as number 2 as America's finest matchup, and so to be able to do it at home here at the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, I know it's going to be a heck of a show.
And the number 1 there was Ohio State USC. The only reason was some people think Ohio State got a raw end of the deal. I think this will be the best game. Coach, congratulations on a great year. Go get them. We'll see you all at the Liberty Bowl for the AutoZone Liberty Bowl.
Thank you for watching the Mike Norvell Show, presented by AutoZone. Get in the zone. AutoZone. The show is supported by the Tennessee Lottery, MLGW, Chick-fil-A, and by Mid-South Chevy Dealers.